Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, greetings, and salutations. I'm so glad that you guys could join me, and I'm honored to be able to share with you guys today some of my personal lessons that I've learned through my experiences. And we're going to talk today about past failures and past successes. And my goal is to be able to share some really valuable information again from my personal experiences. And you can take, some of the information and the pieces that fit in your particular situation. You may be going through some of the situations that I've been through in the past. Maybe some of the information shared will be exactly what you need to be able to move forward and continue to push towards your goals or whatever it is that you're moving towards. Okay. Appreciate you guys again. If this is the first time you're coming across the channel and any of my content, my name is Jeffrey Maheji. So again, thanks for stopping by and just hang out with me and you won't be disappointed. I promise. Okay. This is, by the way, going to be the first of a 3-day series that I'm going to put together. I don't want to jam pack everything into one video, but I wanted to make sure that I break it down into bite-sized pieces with actionable steps at the end so that you guys can actually go out and put some of the concepts into practice on your own. Okay. Thanks again. Let's jump right into it. Okay. Like I said, today's day 1 of 3. And today what we're going to be discussing, the main key here is the power of perseverance. And like I said, I'm going to be going over some of my personal experiences with you guys. Hopefully it'll be something that makes sense and you'll see the obstacles, the challenges, the successes, the failures, all the different things that we're talking about. And we'll be able to share with you how to basically get in a situation like that and turn it around and move again into the right direction. So day 1, the power of perseverance. We're talking about personal failures and success. We're also going to be talking about growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And then we're going to wrap things up with realistic goal setting techniques that you can actually implement for yourself if you're looking to set some goals. If you're looking to, have a dream or a vision that you want to work towards, then this strategy will be able to help you sort of focus in on how to do exactly that. Okay. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, the first slide here, we're going to be talking about one of my big failures, right? And it's pretty cool that you guys can see, some of my family. That's my mom holding my degree after graduation. And the picture to the right, that's me, my older sister, my older brother, and my younger sister. So there's 4 of us in the family. And as you can see, my mom is excited, tears of joy streaming down my face because it was an exciting time after 4 years of college, putting in the work, putting in the time, putting in the effort, late nights doing projects, up early, making sure that you're in class and doing all the things that are needed in order for you to finish and successfully graduate with that degree. So I'm proud of myself and I'm excited that my mom pushed me to go to college because there's so many relationships that I built along the way. And this, trust me, is not the one big failure. What I'm talking about when I say the one big failure is right after I graduated from college, there was an opportunity that presented itself to me. But I want you guys to know the full story. Before the opportunity was presented to me, I was looking for work, and even with an accounting degree, some of you guys that might have graduated in 2008, around that time frame, that's when I graduated. So you can imagine the economy was going kind of crazy. A lot of things were going on, and even with that accounting degree, no one was looking to give me even an entry level position. Okay. So that began my challenges, obstacles, and failures. You can imagine after spending 4 years and graduating from college with a degree in accounting and not being able to find a job. So again, struggles, challenges right after college, knowing that you have a degree and you have bills coming as far as student loans in the next couple of months. I was definitely looking to work. I was definitely ready to start doing something with that degree that I just earned. But since I couldn't find anything in that field, I just kept looking until I found something that I could do to actually earn income. Okay, guys. So As you can see, some of you guys may some of you guys may recognize the Mad TV, but as you can see, this slide is titled Expectations, and you see mayhem right there. So when I was coming up with the slides and what I wanted to talk about, one of the things I wanted to make sure I talked about was expectations. So you got to have, the expectations lined up when you graduate. What's the reality? And for me, I would say my expectations were pretty much like, get out of college, go find a job, and because you have this degree, people will give you a job. I felt like I was owed a job because I had invested time to go and get my degree. This is what, my mom told me, and this is what everybody else says is, go to school, get your degree, go to work hard, and then maybe one day you could retire and have a nice pension, and they'll give you the watch for 50 years of service, whatever the case may be. Anyway, that didn't happen. Like I said, I was looking for jobs and nothing happened. So I want to caution you about your expectations, right? Lowered expectations. That was Mad TV. That's why that's there, just for some humor. If you guys remember that show, it was hilarious. So if you don't know that show, go check it out. But anyway, the expectations that I had for myself when I graduated was nothing close to the reality. And what I want to tell you guys is the next opportunity that presented itself to me was something that I would have never dreamed about while I was going through 4 years of college to get an accounting degree. But I'm so thankful, I'm so blessed that I got that opportunity, that I want to share that experience with you guys today. Okay. So looking at this next slide here, as we move on, you see products versus services. Now, the funny thing about this is a lot of you guys might remember the DARE program from when you were in school. The officers came, talked to you guys about drugs, violence, and the harmful effects and why you should stay away. So when I graduated, like I said, I was looking for work in the accounting field, and I didn't find anything in that field. Matter of fact, it took me a while, but I found this opportunity with the company, and it was really exciting to me because the whole time I was in school, going to Payne College in Augusta, Georgia, my goal was to graduate, get out of school, and start running a business. So when I graduated, I didn't really know what business or how I was going to get things started, but I still knew that that was what I wanted to do, was run a business. But I said, hey, let me go find a job, work, earn some money, start saving some money so that when I get the business idea figured out, I have some funds to be able to put behind it. Well, I told you guys a story that didn't necessarily work out that way. So here I found this company called Mainstream Events. Mainstream Events. And I had no idea what they did, but I got an interview. And when I got into the interview and I spoke with the gentleman who was doing the interview, I don't even remember what was said or how everything was presented to me, but I know that I remember them saying that you could run your own business if you learn the marketing system that we're teaching you. And you don't have to bring anything to the table. We'll teach you everything that you needed to know, but you have to bring a student mentality, hard work ethic, and a positive attitude. That's all you need. We'll give you everything else. And if you're able to use the marketing system and make it work and show us that you understand it and you can teach other people that same system, we'll give you a business. Now, wait a minute. That's all I have to bring is a positive attitude. I'm in here smiling. I'm excited because, first of all, I got an interview and you guys actually seem like a good group of people. But I'm a little bit skeptical because you're saying you're going to give me a business and all I have to do is come with a positive attitude, a student mentality. And I just told you I graduated after spending 4 years in college. So I got the student mentality, I got the positive attitude, and I just worked hard for 4 years to get that degree. So I have the work ethic. I have all those components. And you guys will give me a business if I can learn the marketing system that you teach me and apply it and make money and show you guys that. I was like, where do I sign up? Where do I start? Right? When can I get going? Because I was ready to go. If you can imagine, if you're watching and you're getting ready to graduate, if you graduated, remember that feeling of getting ready to jump into the workforce and start doing something? That was me, ready to go. So anyway, I get started, and drug abuse resistance education, DARE, is the campaign that we're working with. So our goal is to be able to keep Dare in schools nationwide because they've lost all their federal funding. There's a 5-step conversation that we're using to be able to engage. That's the marketing system. It's an introduction, short story, presentation, close, and what we call the rehash. Those are the 5 steps. If you could use those 5 steps effectively to promote the fact that, hey, there's being kicked out from schools because they have no more federal funding. We're doing a huge promotion to be able to keep Dare in schools. Then we can make some money. And being able to do this gift exchange, because the way that it was phrased was a gift exchange. So I was really excited because, man, here I am. I'm helping a charity. We're making sure that we keep this great program in schools for kids. And I get to be a part of this and be able to get to impact the community in a positive way. Sure. So we would stand in front of Starbucks, Walmart, Target. I mean, anywhere that you can think of where there's constant foot traffic of people going in and out of the location. And we had a table, we had a banner, we had t-shirts, we had water bottles, we had big books, we had child safety IDs, anything that we could use to be able to do our gift exchange to raise funds to keep Dare in schools nationwide. That was the campaign. And mind you, there's several events going on all across the country with people doing the exact same thing. And that's how I started to learn the system, started to learn to make money, started to provide for myself. And then my next task was to teach people that were being hired how to do the same exact thing that I had just learned how to do. And that's how I was able to build a team and move up the ladder from an entry level all the way to a management position where I would be now running my own location. So all of this was exciting. And that was the road that we had to take. Now, mind you, I said I graduated with an accounting degree. This was a marketing position, direct sales marketing. I'd never done anything like this before. But again, my mindset was open, which is leading me to my next point. Okay. Mindset is huge when it comes to trying new things, when it comes to experiencing life in its full capacity. I think you have to have an open mindset. You have to be ready to try things that you haven't tried before and just be open to failure, right? And in my opinion, failure is really a temporary setback is what people consider to be failures. The only time I think you fail is when you quit or you give up on something. If you have a temporary setback, a challenge, an obstacle that kind of slows your progress down, it's okay. But you can always get the information that you need to get over the hurdle, go through that challenge and keep pushing. But it's when you give up that it becomes a failure. So your mindset has to be strong and tough and be ready to go through obstacles like an ant, right? Don't let anything stop you. So the reason I put this mindset there is because it was crucial to my success on my journey. And my mindset was, again, that I was owed something when I graduated. And here I am being told that, hey, you can learn our system, apply the system, show us that you know it, and now you can run a business. So even though I had this accounting degree, I had to put that in my back pocket, leave my ego at the door, and walk in to a room full of people that some of them had never even been to college, let alone go through 4 years, get a degree, and then now be standing in front of Starbucks or Walmart telling people, hey, how's it going? Come on over. We're doing a huge promotion for Dare, but you have a small table with the banner on it and a couple of t-shirts and water bottles. You know what I mean? So family, friends, some people that knew me were wondering, what the heck is Jeff doing hanging out in front of Starbucks, hanging out in front of Target, talking to people, dressed in a suit, mind you, tie, coat, looking as professional as can be. Some people would see me and think, why aren't you in an office building somewhere, in a bank somewhere doing something? You're dressed so professional, but you're standing outside. And I said, hey, I'm doing a huge promotion. We're helping kids with the DARE program. They lost all their funding. All we're doing is trying to help them stay in schools. You remember the program, right? Yeah. Yeah. We're doing a gift exchange, debit, credit, cash. How'd you want to help us out? You could take a t-shirt, whatever the case may be. I would share, right, with excitement and enthusiasm, the opportunity for them to support the program and help keep Dare going in schools. So again, I want you guys to understand that there's a psychology, there's a system, there's a method behind the madness. Sometimes when you see people doing certain things, don't be so quick to judge, ask questions, and you might learn a thing or two. That's why I'm excited for you guys being here today. So again, my mindset shifted so much in the process that I was able to learn. As you can see, let me jump back to this slide. Again, I was able to use that 5 steps process, started with Dare, and I jumped over to FW1 cleaning wax. This is a product that had no soap, no water, but you could wash and wax 5 cars. Take a terry cloth and a microfiber. That's all you need. You spray on, wipe on, polish up, boom, good to go. So this was the product that I actually started promoting once the Dare campaign was eliminated from our company. We no longer were working with Dare, so that's where I moved on to FW1. But again, the same system, the same 5 steps to a conversation was what was used. And if you guys want to know more about the 5 steps to a conversation, there's actually a video that I've recorded. I might link it somewhere on this video, so you guys can check that out too. But anyway, your mindset's important. And when I worked with Dare, the same system again was what I used when I switched over to the Fast Wax campaign. Worked my way up again from the entry level all the way to the management position where I got to run my own team and have my own office location where I got to do the hiring, the training, the firing, which was not cool. But it was a great experience, I'll tell you. And I had to take a leap of faith. I want you guys to understand that the journey was well worth it. Were there challenges? Yes. Were there obstacles? Yes. Was it difficult? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. Right? So whatever journey that you're on, if you're going through obstacles and challenges, get excited, because those obstacles and challenges come with lessons. And the lessons that you learn, you can take with you to new projects and new things. Those experiences don't leave you. So figure out a way to try to look for the lesson that is in any obstacle, challenge, or hurdle that you might be experiencing in your life. I guarantee you there's a lesson there to be learned, and it's going to help you, even if it's not right this second. Okay. So I'm proud to share with you guys, these 3 guys you see here in the red t-shirts were guys that I actually hired in Fresno and started building the business. Now, this business was a product, again, just like the Dare t-shirts, the Dare water bottles, and everything else. They're all products. Excuse me. I'm currently working with a new opportunity. This new opportunity I'll explain later on in the later videos, but it has to do with services. And I personally believe that services are way better when it comes to what I'm doing, especially essential services versus products. The reason is I think products you have to keep going back over and over and over in order to make the sale. And if you can take care of somebody with an essential service that they're using all the time, sort of like a subscription, they sign up one time and then they just keep paying over and over and over, and you can build a residual income, which again we'll talk about. So I don't want to give away too much information. Just stick around, and if this information sounds interesting, definitely stick around for day 2 and day 3, because we'll dive deeper into more of these concepts. Okay. So I took a leap of faith, got a chance to go from entry level, got to the top management, and that's the picture they're showing me sitting in the office. And what was cool was every time my guys went out to the field to work and generate income from the system that we were teaching, me sitting in the office being able to do interviews and provide opportunities for them, I was getting paid for the work that I had done earlier teaching them. But if I wanted to go out into the field to work with somebody one-on-one, I got paid a bigger percentage, and it was even better because now I'm not just sitting behind a desk telling these guys what they needed to do in the field to be successful, but I'm right next to them in the field showing them exactly what I was telling them before we got out to the field. Hope that makes sense to you guys. And last but not the least, let's go over some of these key takeaways. Now, for me, one of the things that I really enjoyed working with the company was every morning once we walked into the office, we would set our goals right? And they had this thing called SMAC goals, SMAC, specific, measurable, attainable, and challenging. And you had to make sure that that's how you wrote your goals out, so that they were specific enough to where somebody read it and they understood exactly what you were going to do. Measurable, you want to be able to measure it. So if it's, going out and making $100 by 2 o'clock, you could measure that. There's a number, there's an amount that you want to make monetarily, and there's a time frame that you want to do it in. And sometimes we would talk about how people work an 8-hour day. And at the time, I think it was like $10 an hour back in 2008. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, man. 2008, when I graduated, I want to say it was about $10 an hour. So we would think 8 hours a day, that's $80 a day. But by the time you take taxes out of that $80, you're not going home with $80, right? We were able to go out and generate $100 a day doing Dare America or Fast Wax. The concept was the same regardless of which campaign you were doing. The goal was to teach people how to make $100 a day. So in reality, if you're working a 9 to 5 job, making $10 an hour, working 80 hours a week, we could technically be hanging out in front of Target, Walmart, Safeway, Lucky's, it doesn't matter, helping Dare, having the same conversation with people, having fun, building our personal skills and developing every single day, and making more money than somebody that was at their job 9 to 5. So that was one of the big aha moments for me, was being able to understand performance-based pay structure versus an hourly salary. And I think that was one of the biggest things that I can say till this day. I'm so grateful that I didn't get that 9 to 5 job right after college. And I was able to find something like this to be able to change my thinking, to change my thought process about compensation. Because I always thought, if they want to pay me on commission, that means whatever it is that they're expecting me to sell probably isn't selling. So that's why they want me to go ahead and work on a commission basis so they don't have to pay me, right? That was my thinking, flawed thinking. So again, another takeaway I'm going to give you guys is your mind isn't fixed, right? As a human being, if you're watching this, your mind is not fixed. You can change, you can evolve. So don't let people, or don't have the negative self-talk where you convince yourself that I'm only able to do this thing. Because if you were born able to do that thing, you'd have never had to practice that thing and do that thing for as long as you did to be feeling as confident as you do at this very moment, right? Think about that. So realistic goals are huge. Mentors, coaches, leadership. I'm also going to encourage you guys to make sure, if you join a company or start an opportunity, make sure you have mentors, coaches, and leadership that's in place that really has your best interest at heart. Because I will say, part of the reason I parted ways with that company that I worked with was some of these things weren't in place the way that they should have. The opportunity was great. I learned a lot, and I still use a lot of the things I learned from that opportunity till this very day. But again, it's important just to make sure that you have the correct mentors, coaches, and leadership in place that understands your goals and really have your best interest at heart, so that that way you can make sure that you communicate what your goals are. And since they've already done it, their job is really to help navigate and help you get to where you're going, shorten that time, almost like going into a little bit of a time travel. They've been there, they understand the challenges along the road, they understand where to step and where not to step to avoid the landmines. So their job is to help you navigate. The most important thing, as you can see, it's the biggest out of the three, is your vision. Your vision has to be so big that, first of all, whatever obstacle, challenge, or roadblock comes in front of you, it doesn't deter you from your vision, from your goal, from the reason that you start anything, right? I believe that so many people start, and the reason that they don't finish is sometimes other people talk them out of what they started, or sometimes they talk themselves out of what they started because they didn't have the vision that was big enough to hold them accountable when things got hard. That's the bottom line. There's a reason people start things, and there's a reason that they don't finish. I think it's just sometimes the discipline, the commitment, the courage, and just the stick-activity. So if you know for a fact that you have more to offer, more to give, then I would definitely encourage you to develop the courage and just take it one day at a time. Start with just doing something different to get yourself a little bit out of that comfort zone that you've built for yourself, and then just move forward into uncharted waters, move into uncharted territories, right? And once you start to do that, you'll start to develop the resilience. You start to build that muscle, that courage that you need to be able to constantly just navigate and take advantage of opportunities in areas of your life that you had no idea you were that strong. But once you start doing it on a daily basis, it's going to be like a habit and you're going to build that muscle. Again, I encourage you guys to, take the first steps, and it's always the hardest steps, but I'm here. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, you just need some support, whatever the case may be, this journey is something that I think is exactly that. It's a journey. It's not something that you look at as, man, when I get there one day, but as you get to a certain spot, it's like Zig Ziglar said, go as far as you can see. And when you get there, you'll see a little bit further. So sometimes, we don't see as good as some of the other people who have been down the path, down the road that we're on now. We have to just look through their eyes sometimes, have some of their belief, and live off of that until we're able to see for ourselves and just trust that they have our best interests at heart while you're going through the process. But I really, really want to thank you guys. I didn't intend on going this long. Next video, we're going to be talking about the benefits of entrepreneurship and designing your future. Again, it's your future. Don't let somebody else take your most precious asset or commodity, which is your time. If you're given, 8 hours a day at your 9 to 5, I think it's very important to take care of your responsibilities. If you have to work a 9 to 5, there's nothing wrong with that. No shame in that. But I believe it's just as important to work that as it is for people to work their 9 to 5, to spend time on personal development, on personal growth. So these extra hours that you spend on developing yourself, that's what's going to get you to your fortune. The 9 to 5, that makes you a living. And if somebody, again, is in that same 9 to 5 position as you, and they're putting in extra hours on their personal development, 9 times out of 10, if there's a promotion that comes up, they might be able to get that promotion before you because they have invested in their personal development. So it's important. We're going to talk about, again, benefits of entrepreneurship and designing your future. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with me this long. I appreciate you. I hope you got value, and I hope to see you on part 2. Again, this is going to be a 3-day series. We're going to be talking about this topic right here. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Feel free to leave some comments. I'd love to hear from you. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed already and this information, again, provided value, please like, subscribe, and follow for more. We'll talk on the next one. Take care, guys.